Hey guys, today's sponsor is Rocket Money, an app I use all the time. In fact, you can see here are my upcoming subscriptions. Already this app has saved me hundreds of dollars a month, a year even. Yeah. This is one of the apps that has been most helpful for me to help me manage my money. Why else do we use Rocket Money?
I mean, I get Netflix is going up in price all the time, and my Amazon subscription's coming up. It just helps you stay organized. It's so great. Actually, Joe was using it for a really long time and kept telling us to get on.
To use it.
I like to save. All right?
I'm a little scared to use it, but ever since then, I have not regretted it. It has been so awesome. It puts everything right in one spot. It even notifies me when subscriptions go up in price, and I'm like,
Sneaky.
and then I cancel that right away. I feel so empowered by it. And here's the greatest part, guys. It's free. Okay, it's free. And you could go right now to rocketmoney.com/AngryJoe Show. Try it out. See if it's for you. They have premium features to give you even more control, even more savings. There's no reason not to try Rocket Money. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome to our review of The Quiet Place Day 1. Too loud. Welcome to The Quiet Place Day 1. We just got back from the theater.
It's very quiet. You can hear everything.
Yeah.
All right, now I can talk. This is rain.
You'll put me to sleep. It's my sleep
I do.
music.
I actually turn this on.
Did you?
Turn this on to sleep. Do you?
I have a
Do you use
different
sound
one.
machine?
I don't have a sound machine. Just
So they
music.
get around the not talking part that the previous films have had to deal with by talking around waterfalls, around rain, and fire. Ninja Turtles fire from the sewers of New York that's burning. And we have, let's see, a prequel to the original film. This takes place 86 days before what we saw in the events of the first film, and it's about Sam, a terminally ill cancer patient, which actually I don't know if I just didn't pay attention to the trailers, or I didn't really watch the trailers very much, to be honest. I had no idea that she was going to be terminally ill or had cancer.
I think that's the surprise.
I think they did a good job in the trailer. I also didn't even know that she was going to run into Eric, this sort of English law student. And I also had no idea about the kitty cat character, which we'll talk a lot about in the review. But A Quiet Place Day 1. Let's have you guys start. Who wants to go first?
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go first this time. This is a movie that I think is pretty good. I think it's solid. Now, what I will tell you is I don't think this is a very good movie theater movie. This movie is very, very quiet. And so if you're in a movie theater, you're going to hear the person next to you chewing and farting and burping and clearing the throat and sniffling. And the waiter in our fucking Alamo had the stickiest goddamn fucking shoes. And it was like, I thought his shoes were going to rip off his goddamn feet because every time he took a step, it would make the loudest sticky noise. And look, I'm not blaming the waiter, but it's like, this is the kind of thing that if you want to appreciate and kind of get immersed in this thing, this movie may be better in the home theater or with a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
And so I do think this is a pretty good movie. I think it's an interesting concept, this whole, evil, the crazy monster things that come to Earth. They don't have any, they're just hungry or whatever. We don't know their motivation. We just know that they're there, and they can set up for really interesting stories. But I think that my movie-going experience was really damaged by the loud-ass fucking people in the Alamo Draft House.
Okay. Yeah.
I enjoyed it as well. It's a quick plot. Didn't really make sense, but yeah, sure. There's a lot of whatever.
This is the most well-behaved cat of all time. Yeah. I gotta say that the director has no idea how real cats work. I do. And cats do not operate in this way. Similar, but not fully.
Here's a glass.
Yeah, just knocking over shit.
This one was the perfect
meowing
cat.
like a motherfucker to get fed, waking your ass up, every fucking day. Yeah.
Yeah, if cats behave like that, I was like, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
have a pet
That's
like that.
That's a great cat.
That's a great cat. But it was a enjoyable watch for me. I liked it. It wasn't the best. Quick plot, or quick story. So
But
I didn't feel like there was a lot of drag on this one. It's a good watch. I wouldn't, like you said, I would just watch it at home.
Well, this one,
a good one.
John Krasinski famously directed the other ones. It's his franchise, his series. He handed off directorial duties to somebody else. It was Jeff Nichols, but in 2021, the script was completed, they dropped him from the film due to creative differences. So I don't know how you're just like, I want him to talk all the time. And it's like, maybe you don't understand this.
Or he's like, excuse me, I have a cat. This is not how cats work.
Maybe. So they dropped him and replaced him with Michael Sarnowski, and his other one was Pig, Nicolas Cage, which was a great film. And in fact, John Krasinski handpicked him because he watched Pig and he really liked it. So I think that I agree with the boys here. This is a good film, okay? But it's going to be up to you whether you want to go to the theater on this one. I'm not telling you to go out and see it in theaters, mainly for kind of the reasons I support Alex. It was very annoying listening to all the audience cough, and make noises and eat. I mean, I was doing a little bit of it myself. I was eating popcorn, and I was like trying to wet the popcorn, and I was trying to be respectful. And I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but like really eat it softly. Did you try eating your popcorn softly?
No, I was waiting for a loud moment.
I guess I'm not respectful.
I was respectful too. I was waiting for a loud moment. Okay, eat.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I was like putting extra saliva to make this popcorn. And I was trying not to eat with an open mouth. But then I gave that up when I heard the dude right behind me.
If you're easily annoyed, don't go.
Maybe if you're starving, eat before you go.
There's really good, slow, tense things that you're supposed to be dead silent. And it's not that the movie doesn't present those things. It's just it is tough when the guy, the warthog sitting behind Joe, is just rooting through the mud or whatever the fuck that guy was doing.
This is basically torture porn, prawn, and it's scene after scene of people who are loud and obnoxious, and you don't know, and you want them to behave themselves, and they don't behave themselves, and here comes some monsters, and who gets killed. And honestly, by Quiet Place 2, it started to wear off a little bit on me. I would think that this film here, it would be totally worn off. But the fact that they went with a prequel, the fact that I get to see the invasion happening, which unfortunately that portion of it was disappointing in my opinion.
I wanted more of that.
Way too quick. Not even a single military gunfire goes off. You do hear rockets in the background in the far distance, but there's not enough of the initial clash.
Yeah.
And I get it if you have an AR and you're firing it constantly full auto, you're going to attract 80 of those creatures near you. But show it.
It'd be nice to see.
Yeah, it would be nice to see. And so honestly, if I was already waning, and then you have a bad theater experience, and then the prequel idea was a little bit of a letdown, you would think I hate it, but I don't. And I think it's because of the performance of Lupita as Sam and Joseph Quinn as Eric. And these two are great actors and actresses. And because of the emotions and the acting.
She's got big eyes, so you can really show your emotion with that.
Listen, I don't really like being emotionally manipulated in cheap, exploitative ways. And so when I see an animal in a horror film and they, do the Chekhov's gun thing, they show the animal and they show it in there and they show how much everybody loves the animal, I just don't like it because I know what they're going to try to do with it.
I didn't for once think,
I know, but this is just my personal pet peeve with films. And, we'll talk more about that in spoilers, but just know if you're an animal lover, then your emotions are going to be manipulated. But by the end, I did feel emotion. between these two characters. I think putting in the fact that she's a terminal cancer patient was very interesting and added something to the mix in order to, well, she's going to die anyway, so maybe
I get her,
she
what
has
she
some
wanted.
bravery,
Okay, it's like, yeah.
and she has a goal in this film. And frankly, I wanted that goal to be completed as well. And I'll try not to spoil it, but she wanted this goal to be completed as well, and she kind of convinces others around her that this is what needs to be done. And I was on board. And so the film does have an emotional payoff, but I don't know. I just feel like we're telling the same story over and over, and we're not really adding to the dimensions of the lore or the universe in any meaningful way. But that's okay, so as long as you're prepped for it.
Yeah.
If you want another quiet story where the monsters terrorize people and people try to be quiet and then they can't be quiet and then people die, you're going to be satisfied. This is exactly what this is. It says it right there on the poster. Yeah. So stay quiet or stay alive. Stay quiet, stay alive. And it does that. But I do appreciate the additional talking, because in the first film, they really, really stayed very quiet compared to here. There is talking in between, waterfalls and rain. It's raining a lot in New York. And the noisiest city, at one point pays off. So as far as this prequel idea of it being the day one invasion and there's lots of humans around rather than few humans, really they only pay that off with one scene, and a lot of it, like Joe said, is unrealistic and dumb. Like, it wouldn't happen, in this way. It's movie magic. It's setting up tension. People don't behave like that. There's going to be
a lot of dumb moments.
A lot of noise, no matter what, and especially from animals as well. So, but overall, I think I did like it, along with you guys. So let's go ahead and give it a final verdict. Well, well directed, well directed, well acted. What do you think about the visuals?
There was one scene that really bothered me. There was a shaky cam that was like, it felt so out of place.
Why? Is something going on?
And it was the only scene that I noticed it. And I don't know. I mean, it's got to be someone sitting there slow jerking talking about the style and why this scene that, in my opinion, didn't need to be shaky, because both characters are kind of kneeling down. But like, the guy is shaking the camera like this.
What's the point?
What are you doing? Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing that stood out as good or bad. That scene bad.
I thought there's something going on with my vision. I was like, did everyone see that too?
Okay. And as far as the aliens, the lore for the aliens and their motivations and why this is happening is not really expanded upon. There's two moments we'll talk about in spoilers that people can theorize on, but you're making a mogul out of an anthill. Is that the saying? Well, you'd have to blow it up a little bit more and get creative with it. I don't know if they plan to do more of these because I guess there is plenty of time between day one and all the other films that they can mine stuff. And these characters are only 86 days before these characters. Depending on who lives and dies, could we have a universe,
maybe
Quiet
a
Place
TV
universe,
series or something? But I don't know.
And then, is there potential for post Quiet Place 2 more with the aliens? Frankly, I think I'm out. I enjoyed this one, but I'm simultaneously not going to be excited if there's a fourth.
Straight to Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt with this one. I was like, I don't really want to see this one, but we're going to check it out.
But it convinced us due to good performances and directing. So take of that what you will. Let's go to final verdicts.
I'm probably going to go with the 7 on this one. I'm surprised that Henry was actually not in the film a lot.
Henry?
Yes.
Who is Henry?
I keep forgetting his name. How do you say his name?
Oh,
who is Henry?
Jamon Hansu?
Yes.
Oh, right.
The guy you see in the trailer.
Star-Lord who?
Yes, that guy.
MCU guy.
We see him like just twice.
Yeah.
I was more shocked about that.
In the trailer, I was like, cool. I'm looking forward to him. Nah.
Yeah.
No.
5
he
minutes.
Ain't in the
You give 5 minutes.
Completely.
Lupita.
But I
Lupita
do like Joseph and Lupita's performance. They were great. There were a lot of dumb moments with the cat that should have worked, whatever. I rolled my eyes on that one.
Super dumb moments with the cat. But I'm a cat lover, so,
Yeah, and this was day one. I was hoping they would, show more of the chaos and, the military, showing up and be like, you know what, now we have to blow up the bridge and do this.
Yep.
Shocker. Aliens win.
Yep.
Spoiler. But
well, it's not a spoiler because 86 days later, people are dying.
Yeah, but I wanted to see more of the military. Like, it looked like the military just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna blow up the bridge." But I wanted to see what they were kind of doing before that.
Yeah, no, this was an opportunity, especially in the prequel, to show the military resistance that eventually loses.
Yeah. Other than that, it was a cool. Lupita's goal was amazing. I liked it.
Yes, I knew you would, Joe, because that's your favorite. We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah, I think that it was a far more emotional movie than I think people are expecting. This almost feels like a bait and switch. This isn't a summer action blockbuster. This is more a slow, tense. It's like a character-driven and emotionally driven film that just kind of has like monsters in the backdrop, and the monsters kind of force them along the way. And a lot of it's really good. But I think it's going to be slower than people expect. I didn't get the payoff. I didn't get to see the futility of fighting the bad guys. I didn't get to see a lot of the things that I was hoping to. That honestly, the trailers kind of led us to believe that it was going to be.
That's a great point, Alex. The trailers, they show multiple monsters, more monsters than we've seen. The beginning, the resistance.
Yeah, you don't get to see any of that. And so what it is they showed you that trailer, and then they they did a good job.
They go back to the formula.
But then we get to this emotional character-driven thing. So I think they did a good job with that. There was a couple moments in here that really are supposed to be like the grand slam for the movie, right? And I felt that they didn't do a very good job. The very end of the movie, I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be a big thing. Why are we kind of rushing through it, not setting it up? And then it's like, okay, well, you did it, and so it's pretty good. But this was the chance for you to like really nail it and really make me love the movie and be okay with, again, that guy. He was like rooting through truffles in his chair, and he was just snorting and being weird, and he ruined this movie.
Yeah, watch it at home.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna give this a 7, but watch it at home.
Okay, 7. This is a good film. Don't get us wrong. But by the third film, we get a little bit more tough love here because I need to see some things here. And you did good by getting Lupita, and she definitely holds the film up along with Joseph Quinn. And you did a little bit of the bait and switch, like Alex said, from the trailer to what the film is. There's far more quiet, intimate moments between two people and an animal than there is, the day one invasion. The day one invasion is basically 10 minutes, and then the rest of the film feels like it could have been day 87. And besides one herd scene where humans are herding together, which I would go nowhere near because I don't trust none of you motherfuckers.
But even then, you're like looking around, you hear everything. It's like, this is a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was stupid. I don't. They're walking around like zombies, or they're trying to make a statement here. I don't get it. Anyways, and the ending, while done well, just didn't have the gratification that the film thinks it does and tries to set up. I thought these were great performances. I liked the overall formula. I think The Quiet Place works, but it just didn't give me enough and more to really sell me on it. It's not one that I would watch again. And I'm not excited for a fourth film if this thing does gangbusters. The budget is relatively high. $67 million for a horror is somewhat high. They'd make horrors these days for $20 million.
Yeah, it's
crank those things
money,
out.
So there will be a fourth, and I do think it'll be a Paramount.
A Paramount exclusive, maybe even a TV series and stuff, because corporations, they get desperate. When they have a hit, they keep mining it. Star Wars. All right. Anyways, so 7 out of 10. I could totally see people really enjoying this because if they don't mind the emotional manipulation and they didn't feel the manipulation, then you're going to feel the emotions here at the end. So I could see people going 8, 9 very easily. But me personally, I'm at a 7. Okay, so let's go into the spoilers talk. If you've already seen the film or you don't mind, come and join us in the spoilers section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. Joe, what was this goal that she had?
She wanted pizza.
God damn it! I'm going to New York City, and I'm going to have me a fucking pizza.
Patsy's Pizza.
A goddamn pizza. And I was like, yes. Now I want pizza.
End of the world, I want pizza.
Okay, she's a cancer patient. She shouldn't be alive. The time that the doctors gave her has run out, but she's still living for some reason. And she's like, all right. And he's like, let's do a day trip. And she's like, I don't want to go. I don't care about anything. Wait, can we have pizza? And it's like, yeah, we'll stop for pizza afterwards. And this big invasion happens, and she's like, God damn it. Let's go get pizza now.
Pizza?
And he's like,
no,
what?
we have to go
Are you
home.
Crazy? There's things coming from the sky. No, let's get pizza. No. So, but she has this goal throughout the entire film. And yeah, ultimately, does she get her pizza, Joe?
Of course not.
She does go to the pizza place.
It
She
is
finally
burnt
gets to the
down.
pizza place. It is burnt to a crisp. And I was thinking, what's she going to do when she get there? Going to be cold pizza? You going to eat cold pizza? Hey, cold pizza's fine on certain days. But maybe would you put like a blanket over the oven and you kind of turn it on?
Well, no.
Them hot pizza would
what
be
I was
so
already
good.
thinking, I would go in there, get the ingredients. There's already like a sewer fire, so just go out there.
Oh, sewer pizza.
Yeah,
Great,
might as
Joe.
well.
This is a great idea.
get-
And what
they're
kind
gonna
of
die
gases?
anyways.
Do you know what kind of gases it would
Oh,
take
what
to
is-
ignite?
She's gonna die anyways.
Fine.
So
sewer
how
pizza.
callous of you.
Anyways, but again, I didn't expect her to be a terminal cancer patient.
Yeah, me
She's
neither.
in with a bunch of other people who, have conditions or older. They take a
Hospice.
bus ride into the city. Yeah, in hospice. Take a bus ride into the city to watch a marionette show. She's like, oh, fuck, this is going to be
I
lame.
liked
You
it.
tricked me. I actually like this. Old man
too.
comes out. It looks like he's going to suck. And then he does something kind of elegant. It was short, and I wish it was a little more. But it kind of ends, and it's more focused on her sort of leaving. She's bringing this cat with her everywhere. So we got to talk about the cat. One of the best performances of any cat of all time.
Best supporting
because
cat.
Yep.
Best supporting cat. Please let there be an Oscar.
Super well trained.
It would be a
There's
Oscar.
no fucking credit here on Wiki. This needs to change.
Where's the
Because there
cat?
might be multiple cats. You never know with these cat actors. Anyways, this cat is the most obedient cat ever. Okay? Never makes a fucking sound. Never knocks anything off.
Never gets lost.
Never hisses.
Doesn't jump out of piano keys. Doesn't do anything. And then immediately runs to all of the monsters.
Yeah. I don't get it. And that made me very frustrated. She's taking this cat everywhere, so it gives you anxiety. You're like, when is the cat going to fuck up? Oh, they're just not going to do the cat thing because you have in the back of your mind, how mean is this film? A lot of horror films, they'll set up the little doggies, and the owners are being haunted, and that doggy is going to get eviscerated and ripped apart. And this was the feeling I had the whole film, and I'm like, fuck you. I know what you're going to do. But at some point in the film, I said, no, this cat is invincible. And it's almost a different kind of emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
So with this cloak of invincibility, this cat is never in danger, from the plot. And at
Even
one
when-
point,
He puts everyone in danger though.
he puts everybody else in danger.
In the theater, that scene was like everyone.
Well, what
was
happens in the theater? Tell us.
So that happened, and she gets knocked out. They bring her back in, Henry, and she wakes up. She was unconscious.
Well, the invasion happens, and she gets knocked out, right?
And then Henry wakes her, or she wakes up. She's like quiet. Everyone's in the auditorium, in the theater, and then they hand her the cat.
Yes.
We don't know the cat's name. He takes off to the front door. She
Yep.
chases it. He's Frodo. That's right.
He wants to leave for no
So
reason.
he starts
there's
making
monsters outside.
noise.
There's no reason for it. It's just written in the script that he wants to be let out.
And he
There's
runs.
like tons of people. So he starts kind of clawing at the door, and then the
Making noises.
monster opens the door.
Cat runs away.
Cat runs into a bunch of bells,
Bell.
and which summons the monsters and gets someone killed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Almost
Well,
killed.
one of the has one of the monsters yell in her nurse's face. This nurse later on survives that, but unfortunately gets killed when the lights go out and the building's generators turn on, and somebody has to turn it off. I'm like, the motherfucker's dead. I don't even care if it's like switch and then everything's fine and then he smiles. And then it's just so formulaic. You know what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
But they tried to do something different. Oh, it wasn't the noise of the generator. It was the noise of his shirt ripping when he came back. No, they know, they geolocate where the fucking noise was. It doesn't matter if you rip your shirt. They're going to destroy whatever that area.
It's a loud ass generator. And again, like he said, is they made a really big deal that it was his shirt slightly ripping after he did the impossible thing that got him killed. And then I don't know.
I did like a scene where that one, the MCU guy, Dimon, there's a guy freaking out when the military takes the bridges out, stranding everybody on an island. And he's like, we're all going to do it. And he covers his mouth. And he's like, calm down. Shh, be quiet. And the guy won't calm down. And he looks at his son. And he knows this guy's not going to shut up. I'm going to either fucking kill him. I wish they would have done this scene differently where he has to kill him. But here, it's almost like an accident.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred it to not be an accident. And then you could just still have the same emotions. But it was an accident. He's, oh, are you okay? And then he's not okay. And then he feels really bad. And his son left.
See, I thought they were gonna go somewhere with this storyline, but they were just like, okay, we don't see these people anymore.
Right, like the son would be scared of the dad, and the son would be running away because it's like, son, I didn't do that on.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens, but it's not in this film.
No, after that we don't.
Maybe they cut it out.
Really see him.
Well, it's also super interesting to see how human beings act in a catastrophe where you have these two characters. We had the whole movie's about these two characters that are taking care of each other to a fault, and it's also really interesting to see what happens when human beings tear each other down because they're worried about surviving.
Right.
And so, like, you don't think that Henry wanted to kill this guy, but he had to. He literally had to kill him. And there's all sorts of opportunities to play in that and see like people helping each other and straight up murdering each other. And
great concepts, and I'm glad that they covered it in the film. Next, so we're on the street. The military is flying helicopters, blasting on speakers. Hey, everybody, shut up. Even though they're not shutting up, which is a good thing maybe because it is attracting all of the creatures to follow the helicopters.
Go south, and I'm assuming they're going north,
right? So, to try to. So I like this, and I'm sure some of the creatures in my mind, you don't even get to see it. See, this is the kind of stuff I like. Some of the creatures would try to jump on the helicopters. I'm making this all up in my mind, and then the military at some point even blasts that they can't swim. So the military knows that. Well, in that case, where the fucking gunboats at? Because I realize you cannot use an AR on the ground, in the trenches. You will attract 80 and they'll tear you apart. But you put a bunch of fucking machine guns and soldiers on a boat and you just make noise and then they're going to draw them because we see boats in this film and the aliens kind of walk the perimeter waiting for the boat to end. So just go pop, and that's where you get to do some sniping and some stuff. But we never get to see any of that. They're not clever enough for that, and they're just dying. But anyways, rendezvous with the boat. So we have an objective for most people, but Lupita's like, I'm going to get pizza.
Yeah.
And so at one point, the perspective completely changes to the cat. And we're following the cat. And I'm like, okay, we left Lupita behind. We left Henry behind. We're literally following the cat. I'm like, what is going on here? I turned to Joe, and I'm like, I'm actually down for this because I love cats, right? So let's go. The rest of the film, I don't give a fuck. And but no, it was in order for the cat to get a drink of water. The subway has filled completely up, so the underground is just a pool. And a guy pops his head up from under the subway, gasping for air, and I'm like, the cat would just ran away. But the cat senses this guy's good heart, and he's a kind soul. He's a kind person. So the cat stares at him. And he stares at him, and
he falls in love with the cat immediately.
Well, you know why the cat's named Frodo, right?
And then brings him to...
You know why the cat's named Frodo?
Because he's the best. I don't know.
No, because Sam. Because the Lupita's character is Sam.
Oh.
Sam and Frodo. Anyways. So the cat's just staring at him, and he's a good heart. And so then he makes a connection with the cat, and he follows the cat, and he ends up running into Lupita, who is hiding from the other big set piece scene. Alex, what is this set piece scene here that we see here with
and so all of the people know they need to migrate south, and so thousands of people fill the streets with noisy wheelchairs,
briefcase,
and children, and it sounded...
Nobody says, stop fucking... Go ahead.
Yeah, and it sounded like our fucking movie theater, where it's just like it's a sound of a couple hundred people, and then people are gonna have sniffles. People are going to, tummy ache. You've been eating street meat in New York City. Some guy's gonna shit his pants or something, and then all of these noises happen, and guess what happens? All of these people fucking die.
Yeah,
and
I just thought about that pissing. That makes a fucking noise. You can't even piss.
You had to hit
Silencer.
the side of the porcelain.
Silencer on your piece. What?
The side of the porcelain, not the water. That's the silencer.
Oh, there you go. Nice, Joe. But you'd have to find porcelain somewhere.
Yeah.
Because if it's just, on concrete, you're making noise.
So she's hiding. Everyone in the street is dying, and this dude who has seen a cat, he just sees a random cat in serious. It feels like he fell in love with this cat because he follows it a couple blocks to a woman. Everyone in the street is dying. And he's just calmly following this cat.
And how did Frodo know to go there?
Frodo managed to go there. And then Frodo managed to find Lupita back. This cat is amazing. But I will give cats credit. They do have good geolocation, and they know when they're hungry, they'll come back. So
yeah, but she moved several blocks running.
Yeah, I get you. There's a few times where you're like,
and there's so much chaos. He ran through.
Yeah,
he ran through a whole bunch of stampede.
And she ran. The cat ran through the stampede as well, and that's a lot of scents. That's a lot of smells. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of children that'll just grab a cat because they want to. Yeah. So, anyways, this again, you have to forgive a lot, and we did forgive a lot but we're just talking about it because that's what we do in the spoiler section here.
Yeah.
All right. So once these two meet up, he follows her around like a lost dog, and he's bonded with the cat, and she doesn't want him to follow, but eventually lets him follow, and it's a touching story about humanity and good people helping each other and doing the right thing. Eventually, she runs out of her meds, and you can tell she's sick as fuck, and all of her muscles are on fire. And so he decides at one point to trek out on his own. And that's when...
Yeah, he goes to a pharmacy, and it's really nice because he's risking his life for this person that he met a couple days ago, and it's super sweet. And the cat has followed him to the pharmacy a couple blocks. He finds the meds, and on the way back, the cat runs straight to the nest, the fungus-filled...
There's two jump scares. When the cat followed him, we get a jump scare there. When she's sleeping and wakes up, we get an annoying jump scare there. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, fake dream jump scare. But the cat goes into the nest of all of the beasties, and it's filled with these horrific-looking space mushrooms, and the guy, knowing that it's the nest, follows the cat anyway, like the cat isn't invulnerable and gotta find its way home. And we have this long scene of this guy almost dying constantly to save this cat that doesn't need saving.
He doesn't need to be saving. He's loafing. The cat was loafing. Just let the cat loaf. They like to find a high place and loaf. And that's what the cat was doing. And he's like... I gotta get the cat. You don't have to get the cat. The cat will come back.
If it was a scared kid or something, this scene totally makes sense to me. But I don't know. I bought all of the other dumb cat bullshit. This was like, this is stupid. This human being is being stupid, and this cat is not in danger.
And I loved when the cat was loafing, and a monster is chasing or getting real close to him, and then the monster goes under the beam that the cat is loafing on top of, and the cat does this. He's looking at the monster. He doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care. He's invulnerable.
Yeah.
He's invulnerable. He's got the plot armor. Eventually, he grabs the cat. The cat doesn't go, or making a little noise when you grab him. It's the most silent cat in the world. Maybe if they would have explained the vocal cords in this cat just does not talk. This cat just never say, hey, what's wrong with your cat?
Broken.
And you say, my cat just doesn't.
If it was an orange cat?
It's a broken cat.
Oh,
one brain cell?
They would die immediately.
One brain cell
they're
on
sweet,
Reddit.
But they're so dumb.
Yeah. I've got an orange cat. All right, so then basically he saves the cat, brings the cat back, brings the meds, saves the day. And these two bond. They talk to each other later on. He is a law school student. His parents are in Kent back in the UK. He has no family here, and she is the cancer patient that should already be dead.
Yeah.
Then they go to the city. There's a bunch of skyscrapers. What happens here? What happens next? Somebody help me out here.
They do the shaky cam scene that OJ and I despise.
What is the shaky cam scene? I forgot.
She's sitting at an outdoor bookstore. Yeah, there's a bookstore and a bunch of books outside.
Oh,
and she's sitting there, and then
So the plot point is she leaves him behind.
Yeah.
Even though they bonded, she doesn't want to be a burden and doesn't want. So she walks off, leaving him behind. So he doesn't know how to find her. And then goes to a bookstore.
Yeah, but she knocks over some books and makes a bunch of noise, and then they have to escape, and it sets up this really long, them constantly running away and making noise.
He follows her and meets her and says hi again, and then they're doing this together.
Yeah, and then so they're going through the flooded subway tunnels, and he's starting to freak out because he almost drowned early in the movie.
I would too.
And he's having a massive panic attacks because there's all of these almost sleeping beasts.
That I understood. That gives you that tension.
Yeah. And so, these were good scenes. But also, these scenes also not super silent because we could hear the water, so I couldn't hear the guy behind you making a bunch of fucking noise.
And that's when I was eating popcorn.
Yeah. And that's very considerate of you. I appreciate that. And then they crawl. They make it through the long section. They crawl out into a church. And this is where she really collapses because the not having meds for this long has taken its toll. And he goes out to find the meds for her and comes back.
Eventually, they go to a balcony and they see the boats and they see a bunch of people on the boats and they see this works. In fact, when they were going back in under the subway and after the book scene, tons and tons of creatures come from the skyline and they chase them back into the subway. He freaks out under the water. One chases them into the water, and these motherfuckers, I don't know if it was because the alien has no concept of water and doesn't need to have water to live. Because if animals are drinking water, they would know that, well, my lungs cannot have water in them, and so I'm not going to ingest water by screaming underwater. Because I think that's what the monster does. Is the monster's swimming, it screams at him, but then when its mouth closes, I guess it takes too much water and it
They're just
drowns.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
There's help.
Okay. That, or he's a poor swimmer or something, and then just dies naturally, whether he was going to scream or not. He was just going to get... They can't swim for very long. No. And so we see, the first time we see the weakness. This is lore that you can expand on. Also, when Alex was talking about the nest scene, we do see the creatures have a specific thing. There's an egg, and at first I thought, oh, okay, so that's how we get even more creatures. They birth these creatures. But no, the creature just takes this egg, breaks it open, and there's gooey caramel and white stuff that he vocalizes to his buddies to come, and
Dinner's
they all
ready.
feast. So they brought food with them in the invasion. Could this mean that this is an advanced assault force and it is an invasion? And these are soldiers eating their, military rations, and they're terraforming our planet in order for them to take over our planet. Because correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't it look like it's kind of different material that they're standing on?
Well, there's
They're
pink.
creating
There's like
some
a pink
kind of
river
mess.
thing. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're building that out of dead bodies or they're fucking mucus or something, or if they're terraforming at all and this is just what they build for. I don't know what's happening here. I wish that the movie would have chose one extra dimension, be it showing a lot of military action and how to try to deal with these and what people would do in bunkers, and did the military go in soundproof bunkers and develop ideas? Hey, what if we, I don't know, have a bunch of balloons that lure all of them that are, with speakers and lure them all to the water where we'll just, shoot them all down from in a boat. I don't know.
They kind
None of this.
It seems like it was kind of out of order because they shut the bridge and then later on they're like, hey, we found out they can't swim. It's like, well, okay, well, maybe
I
we
think
should
they
have
were
known
just
that.
maybe they thought, oh, they're mostly on this particular area of the city, so we'll trap them.
Well,
I don't know if that's
they
the
were
globe,
everywhere.
and she was marking everyone on the globe that had been invaded.
Right.
And it was everywhere.
right. So I'm not sure what that was, but I guess maybe the local New York forces National Guard, militia, or army unit stationed there maybe said, okay, on their map. See, this is why we need a little bit more.
Yes.
Just a little bit more
Yeah.
that, they're mostly all located on the island. Let's cut off the island. But so we have that little nugget to chew on for fans of The Quiet Place. Why do they have food? I thought they feast on humans for food, but perhaps they don't feast on humans and they need these. This could be another weakness, or they do both. I don't fucking know. Anyway, and so we move on, and he gets out of there, and they see the boats, and they see the monsters don't even want to get in the water. And Lupita realizes that, look, she doesn't have long to live. This guy was kind to her and is her friend, and she wants to save him. She gives him her cat. And she gives the cat a nice big hug and kiss, gives the cat away, and then just starts making fucking noise. And she's like, run. Mm-hmm. So he's running with the cat, and it's the scene, you're like, I'll make it. And then he makes a noise, and so then all of them rush to him instead of her.
Like
that
tiny noise
compared to her, where there's like
car alarms, explosions. Like, all right,
I know, and there's already a bunch going after her, but then when the camera shows it again, all of those went to her. The noises are still happening there.
Oh no!
And she walks away. Nothing happens to her at all.
So they're all going after her, but then they come to him, and then he's running so close, and you're like, oh no, he's not gonna make it. So he jumps into the water, and the hands just miss him. And then everybody on the boat's like, yeah. And then he gets in the water with the kitty.
Then we get Henry again. Thumbs up.
And Henry turns out Henry is alive. He's on the boat.
With this kid.
Star-Lord who? And they save him, and they save the cat. And I'm like, man, that's the most well-behaved cat, because in the subway scene where they had to go underwater, the cat just stayed inside.
He would
clawed the fuck, but he stayed inside his little basket. It's not even a basket; it's just a bag. And while the monster was swimming and drowned. But anyways, so yeah, he makes it to the boat, and then she's happy and she sees him, and you have all this emotional performance on the face. And we skipped over the scene where they find the pizza place. And then he's like, okay, let's instead go to where your father played piano, because she mentioned this before. Mm-hmm. So they go to the place where they got pizza after he plays the piano, and he manages to find a pizzeria around the corner, brings her pizza, does the nice, cool little thing, just says it's Patsy's, even though it's not. Yeah. She eats the pizza, she's like, it's not good.
It's a couple days old. It's been sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would have been like, man, this is the best tasting pizza ever. I don't care. And I'll fake it, or it's just I appreciate it so much. It's not about the taste. It's about getting
the memories and stuff she had with her dad and everything. Yeah.
So that's it. He gets rescued, and then at the very end, what happens? Or what were you going to say, Alex?
I just think that she sets up this big grand sacrifice where you think it's going to be a sacrifice. And I thought it was going to be an emotional scene where he's like, no, come with me. There's a chance we can make it out. To emote that in some way. And she just kind of gets up, grabs it, and he's like, you're right, you're going to go kill yourself. And I was like, okay, I mean, it feels like we missed an opportunity to kind of set up.
Why couldn't she gone with him?
Well, so, again, they both walk out of there no problem because he gets out on the boat. She just walks back to Harlem from where they are at, and no one gets hurt at all.
No.
And so I think they very easily both could have made it.
Yeah. So I don't understand.
Yeah, and then so I felt like they dropped the ball.
Maybe she's a cancer patient and she knows she's going to die, so she doesn't want to waste away over there. She wants to choose a time of her own choosing, because that is what happens.
Yeah.
So she's walking through the city and she's just reminiscing how the city sings to her, and she really enjoys it. And she's got the headphones.
Song. I love that song.
Yeah. Good song, and she decides to, right before the credits smash, take the headphones off, and so it blasts from the speakers, and one of the monsters drops behind her, but it does smash to black before she's dead. But she did.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. She didn't die when she hit 30 cars.
Yeah. she's totally fine. She's just fucking with them now.
Yeah.
A rat squeaked, and he got distracted and went after the rat.
Yeah.
Even though she's blasting the music. That's kind of how it can be sometimes. How it be. So.
And even during these crazy times, magic saves the day.
Did it?
Oh, I knew you were going to like the magic, too. This movie was tailor-made for Joe. His favorite food, pizza. And his favorite thing, magic tricks. when they're in the bar with the piano. I thought they were going to do something with the piano. I thought she was either going to play the piano and just let herself
jump
die,
on the piano,
or have the cat jump on the piano, or he was going to make noise somewhere else so that they can have a moment or at the piano, but no piano moment. She just wants to play, but she can't play. Instead, he does magic for her, and
amazing.
she liked it. Okay. I think that's enough time for this movie. So there you go. Thank you all guys very much for watching. I think we pretty much covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's quick.
Yeah, it was super quick. We really only see one soldier. It's a female soldier, and it doesn't make sense because if you think that the army is coming in Humvees and stuff, and they exit, do you know anything about military tactics? Soldiers don't walk away from their unit.
There's chaos.
She's just one person, and she's like, get cover, and then she gets killed. That's the only military soldier we see. I'm like, oh, my God. So stupid. The logistics of this stuff. But I'm not interested in future ones unless they do stuff where it's like, okay, let's do another one where the military, there are pockets of resistance, Fallout style, where they go into shelters, they figure out, let's retake the earth, how do we take this back, and they come up with creative ideas. They use the water and the swimming and the sound wave
fourth
stuff.
one?
I'd be for that, fighting back, instead of this constant, oh, is that person going to make noise? Please don't make noise. You made noise, you died. Tension over and over. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.